New viewers, let's catch you up. This is a 7-month-long channel. Yes, price is moving at very, very fast speeds. Price has fallen out of this 7-month-long channel, and we're going to zoom into this yellow area here. Boom, check it out. Before price fell from this area, I mentioned it needs to touch 25.4 before it comes to attempt to try to retest the bottom of that 7-month-long channel. It hit that within a couple hours. It was kind of strange. And then the video after it, I let you know that it's going to probably form a triangle, that you might find YouTubers talk about the triangle once it's a triangle, but I'm telling you now, it's probably going to form a triangle as the absolute, by far, the most likely price path. And here we go, we have the triangle. It is being squeezed by the weekly 10 EMA. These are the things you need on your chart before we go to the part where the returning viewers of the channel can really jump in. What you need on your chart is try to emulate this 7-month-long channel, bottom of the line. Go back to where you saw the 7-month-long channel. Get it as close as you can. Throw on the weekly 10 EMA and the monthly 10 EMA. Those are the two main things you need. If you want to get real fancy and add a third one, the weekly 200 EMA is down here. It technically is providing better support than the monthly 10, but I'm personally using the monthly 10 and the weekly 10 EMA potentially crossing, and usually when price gets stuck here, it ends up forming a triangle with what I call the slope line of the short-term time frame move. In this case, 5-minute to 1-hour charts, you can see the same slope line. So with no further ado, let's go figure out what the heck price is going to do next. You ready to get some Bitcoin? Let's do it. And not always do my top price paths hit time after time, multiple in a row. Sometimes it's my third, and rarely do I completely get it wrong where none of the top 3 price paths hit. And the last time that happened actually was during this Sunday move up right here. This aggressive 9% move up over the weekend, the first one that had happened in quite a long time. And we then on my, so I'm not always like showing off and saying, oh, I did this right and oh, I did that right. When I mess up and one of my 3 price paths, most probable price paths, isn't almost exact in actually the same shape, not just levels, but the same shape, and I did an entire video covering what I missed here. All right, and it was fairly obvious. And so, just for new viewers, I'm not always saying, oh, we talked about this and it happened. I don't do that too much. But when I don't do that constantly. And when I get things wrong, I let you know. Okay, so jumping into price. These are the things you need to know. This will be a short video because why? Because price is doing what we already said it was going to do. Like, we're the king of Bitcoin over here. we are putting the reins on Bitcoin. So you really don't have to know a whole lot in addition to what the previous analyses have been, but to catch up any returning viewers who haven't been staying tuned because price has been boring, or new viewers, again, the weekly 10, the monthly 10, the weekly 200, bottom of the channel, this 28,000, so you can ignore that price for now, up here, 28.5. There is a line at 28,200 from which Bitcoin price capitulated back almost exactly 12 months ago in June of 2022. That was the final capitulation. This is not a capitulation down from 20,000 to 15.5. The capitulation was from 28.2 down to 17.5, and then it went sideways and then finished, right? So this is the same line that we're seeing over here. This guy right here, same deal. New viewers, this is an origin line. I'm not going to go over it. However, no other YouTuber will have this line, and it is the most important line on the chart. It's what we call on our channel in the Cosasverdes community an origin line. Returning viewers, they all know it works, and they all try to, they all try to get these exact how I have them on my chart, because over time they realize they work and they're just ridiculous, and you don't find them anywhere else. But it might be out of play because price over here has already been squeezed below the weekly 10. The weekly 10 already squeezed it below. You already had the fake out, so big money can add to their shorts. I don't see it very likely that this is hit again, but we are heading into CPI data / FOMC. FOMC, by default, has permission to move price 10% in volatility total that day. Sometimes that comes in form of 5% up and 5% down for a total of 10%, right? But it doesn't have to be 5 and 5. It technically could be 0.5% and 9.5%, right? Oftentimes, it's more like a 4 and 6 or a 3 and 7 is pretty common on how the exchanges / traditional finance moves Bitcoin during these moments. In this case, we have the monthly 10 and the weekly 200, and if price is brought down too much below there, then something we say a lot on this channel is too many mosquitoes will be invited to the party. And what that means is there is too much risk for whoever's moving price. It's probably the exchanges themselves at this point. I don't think there's a lot of traditional finance money in crypto, but the big money in crypto, whoever's left, they wouldn't want to put price too much below these areas because there's such huge EMAs. They might invite bigger money or money just as big as them to start playing with the charts and get scared. They don't want to activate those algorithms or those other people with just as much money as the big bad days to start selling. Therefore, I think this FOMC has a better chance either to be a little less volatile and on Bitcoin, maybe not for traditional finance stocks, but to be a little bit less volatile, less than 10% total, and or to have something skewed not very much to the downside and a bigger upward vector. Therefore, if Bitcoin, does that make sense? All right, because it can play, on average, it plays 10% on FOMC. CPIs, it often plays 7 to 9%. Okay? All right. So, wrong side. We're over here. Therefore, because mosquitoes would be invited too readily here, I think, and this has already been touched, it is possible if we measure from about current price. Look what it says up there in the gray box. It says about 10%, right? Therefore, only because of FOMC do I think price has permission to retouch that origin line. And returning viewers, this is where you hit the like button and leave me a quick comment for the algo. Even the word algo itself as your comment would work as well. New viewers, I would prefer to earn your like and subscription and hitting the bell, but if I haven't done that yet, then please don't. I want to wait till you earn it. However, if you go on my past videos, I've really been nailing price recently, and you might want to check out how I predicted how price would go from here down to here, and how it would form a triangle where you're not seeing other channels let you know this stuff, at least as of now. Okay, so the area of 28,500, besides having the weekly 10 and monthly 10 on, and maybe the weekly 200, but you can just get by with the weekly and monthly 10s. The next biggest idea that I need you to realize and walk away from this video with is that price can go all the way up to 28,500. And just like I said, it's probably going to form a triangle. Okay. Now my words that I might repeat at the end of the video are, it can go all the way up here and still be bearish. I might use that little clip that I just did. Go all the way up here and still be bearish. However, I think it's probable I won't be able to cut that clip out because it's just, man, I don't really see it going up to retest it, but it's FOMC. So I haven't had much experience with a combination of Bitcoin being squeezed below an origin line, that white dotted line, by the weekly 10, which is essentially a death sentence. It has to go touch the next origin line down. That is the rules. That rule has never been broken in 13 and a half, 14 years of all Bitcoin price history. It probably won't be broken this time either. But I haven't seen this happen and then an FOMC come about where Bitcoin's essentially already given up its power. So just realize that a bunch of YouTubers will be out there saying, "Ooh, it broke up and stochastics crossing and all that stuff and bullish this." No. If it goes up to 28.5, it is still bearish at that moment. It could turn bullish if it then comes back down and puts like 3 days of time on the weekly. This red line here behind my head, that weekly 10 EMA that you need on there, maybe if it put 2 to 3 days on there but probably more, like 5 days. You need to close a week or two without much volatility, and it would be playing between here and it would be playing between the origin line and the weekly 10 for probably 2 weeks. So, and if it could put in, 3 to 4 daily closures above this line, then I would start flipping my tune a little bit, right? But the moment it comes up there during FOMC, if it goes up there and hangs out for hours or a day and YouTubers start talking about it, it's not bullish. No matter what they say, they would be wrong at that moment in time. Until you get multiple daily closures above that weekly 10 and probably below here as well. Then it starts becoming a little more neutral. Does that make sense? All right. Don't get caught up in folks saying, oh, off to the moon, that breakout. No, FOMC, it's just permission for the exchanges and other big money that's left in crypto to whip price around to get people out of positions. I mean, I'm theorizing that a lot of the positions, the counter positions that allow, for example, if you want a long position, you have to have short positions. There has to be, if you want $100 of long position, there has to be $100 of shorts at the same exact level, at the same exact price on that exchange and on the futures of that exchange. I'm thinking that there's so little money left in crypto that some of the counter orders allowing you to take a long, I think that's the exchange's orders, right? And so, if you're right and take profit, they're essentially not paying you with other people's money, but rather their own to make it look like there's actually liquidity. And so price can just get whipped around because I think that's what's happening. So what that means is the exchanges, they're faking trading volume on futures as well. And so that they don't have to pay you because it's not an actual different trader's money. Usually when they're actually other traders, it all balances out in the exchanges and taking that risk. But I think the exchanges are taking risks by giving the opposite order. Once you're in the correct way, they'll whip price the other way, knock you out, so they don't have to pay you because it was their own order, right? And so we're in a yellow triangle, which first off means price has permission to ignore trend. Trend is by far the more important than any indicator you'll ever use, unless it's in a yellow triangle, which means it has recently fallen out of a macro channel, which is what we're in. Plus, we have FOMC. Therefore, price can whip around. All right? It can whip up to here, and that's all it would be doing. It would be getting people in the correct direction, which is short for now, out of their positions. It would not be bullish. I cannot stress that enough. And I cannot stress that you'll see a lot of information out there talking about bullish crosses and this and that, but it won't be unless multiple days are put in without volatility on top of the weekly 10. That's all we got for you. You just got Timified worldwide. Peace. There are 2 ways to join the community to get more exclusive content. There are 2 YouTube tiers, which involve access to private live shows, typically at 12 p.m. noon New York time, Tuesdays and Thursdays, in which the higher YouTube tier also gets daily price updates on Bitcoin and other cryptos. And the Discord community offers multiple events each week, as you can see on this real example of a previous community calendar, which would enable you to jump on the live events, turn on your microphone, share screens with me, share your ideas, so we can knock out any questions that you have. In addition to offering tutorial series and other exclusive content to help you in your crypto journey. And what you can do for free, which is amazingly valuable, is to look at the 12 links from 2021 and 2022, which are both in the pinned comment and near the top of the description section of this video. Those are links to videos in which I made technical analyses that now laid out. Go back to those videos to see how I was able to use the charts to predict it. It's all for free. I promise I'm here to help you as much as I can in your crypto journey. Probably gonna make a triangle. Community links below.